Hey guys, this is Sarah Elena. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first video on here, I help people move to Costa Rica. So that's what we do. We eat, breathe, sleep Costa Rica over here. And in today's video, this is probably going to be one of my favorite videos I've ever made on this channel because I'm going to be sharing with you every single house that I've lived in Costa Rica. I've been here for almost 9 years and there's 20 homes. I'm going to show you every single house. I'm so excited about this. I think it's going to be awesome. So let's get into Again, if you're new to the channel, I help people move to Costa Rica. So what does that look like? We have one-on-one services, lots of hand-holding. We kind of do most things for you. We have the new do-it-yourself move to Costa Rica e-course. That's definitely for someone who's kind of more, I can do this myself. I want all of your expert knowledge plus connections and some additional support because we do have 12 weeks of group calls with me in that program. And we also do scouting trips, if you're coming down to figure out if the country's for you and, decide where do you want to be and if it's even the right choice. And lastly, we have retreats. The retreats are amazing experiences in person. You definitely don't want to miss out on them. All of the info that I just mentioned is in the description below for you to check out. Okay, so let's get into it. This is all the houses I've ever lived in Costa Rica. This is so crazy. So before I show you the whole entire journey of, basically my whole life here in Costa Rica and everywhere that I've lived, I want to show you where I've ended up. So this is the house that I built. And it'll be interesting for you if you stick to the end of this video for you to really see kind of where we came from to and how we got where we are now. So it has 3 bedrooms, so 1 bedroom. Got my nice little bathroom space in here. And so yeah, I ended up building 2 houses. So I've never shown my house personally online before, but I'm ready. I'm ready to show you guys my house. This is it. I love it. And you will see in this video of all the places that I've ever lived here in the country, you'll see why this one is so special to me. So if you do bear with me through the whole end of this video, I know it's kind of long, then you will see how we ended up where we are here, because it has not been an easy journey, but I do want you to know that it is possible. I moved here when I was 23 years old, got pregnant a year after I moved, and really definitely went through a lot of struggles. A lot of life struggles throughout the whole process, for sure, but also many, many blessings, so many wonderful life experiences. I'm really happy with how life did pan out living here in Costa Rica. The other house that I built is exactly the same as this one, almost exactly the same. And there's my little baby. All right, now I think you guys have seen enough, and it's time for us to get to the rest of the houses that I've lived here in Costa Rica. Let's do this. It took me a while to find all this information, all these photos. So let's get into house number 1. Okay, so a little bit of background. I'm going to do this on here. It's just there's so many folders and so many houses. So I'm going to open them up one by one. So I first moved to Costa Rica in 2015. As some of you already know, it was September. I think it was September 7th. I remember the date that I actually moved. And I moved here, so I already had some friends that were here. And they were talking about how magical it was and amazing. And they had, were kind of renting this place that was a retreat center. So these are original photos from back in 2015 of when I got there and what house I was in. So I'm also going to tell you guys how much I paid for each house that I was living in. So this house did not pay for it. I was only there for 2 weeks with my friends. They're a bit disorganized, so I separated and went my own way from there. But here, let's take a look at some of the photos here. It was actually a really cool place up in the hills of Portolón. So that's kind of more towards the southern zone, south of Quepos, but north of Dominical. Up this crazy mountain dirt road. I remember we first got to Costa Rica. I did not have any, wouldn't have cell phone reception. I don't even know how we got there, to be honest. I was with another friend who was driving. We were driving this old rickety rental car that was just really kind of scary to drive, to be honest. But this house was absolutely gorgeous. It was just such a cool introduction to being here in Costa Rica. It was absolutely beautiful, amazing views. The property was really unique. It had, it was perfect for like sitting outside. It was just really beautiful. So these are pictures that I guess I took, while I was there. I think the house has been for sale before. Who knows who owns it now, but I think someone sent it to me. while ago via email and said they were looking into purchasing this. And I was like, that is the first house I was ever in Costa Rica. How crazy. So this house had like kind of the main house, and then it had some of these kind of guest casitas and a pool. So this is kind of what the house looked like at the time. And it was kind of up for like, I guess running retreats, because these were kind of like the little guest quarters in here. So like this is the main house, the pool, and then the guest quarters are, I guess, like behind where I was standing when I took this photo. Cool big grasshopper that I found. Me sitting outside. I look so young. Drinking my smoothies, eating some local fruit, hanging in a hammock, doing what I came to Costa Rica to do. The pool. And then this is one of my favorite photos. This one, yes, this is one of my favorites. I was miserable. I was so bitten up. There were so many mosquitoes. I was also hot, but I covered my body so I would stop getting bitten. I don't get bit anymore, but I do love this photo. It's a good flashback of like, oh my gosh, like this is what my life was. So I left this space and I came to live at a hostel in Dominical. So I think this hostel's been bought. This is the location right here. This is when Dominical was all dirt roads. And I only kind of knew about the place of Dominical because we would, go with the people that we were with and they take us into town. And that was kind of the closest town that kind of people would go to. So yeah, so I ended up in Dominical, living in a hostel. At this point, I started teaching English to Chinese people online so that I could make an income. So I was always on my computer. You'll see, a lot of my photos that I have, I'm like always on the computer, always working online. And so, yeah, that's what I was doing there. I'd wake up at 4:30 in the morning, go to the hostel office. They were nice enough to give me the keys. I don't remember what it was called, but it's not there anymore, or they've completely revamped it and turned it into something else. But this was it. So I lived in this hostel. It was $200 a month, and I had a room that was by the shared kitchen. So it was $200 a month. I had a hostel room, no AC, just ceiling fans, had 2 beds in it. All my stuff fit in there fine because I came with 2 suitcases anyways. Okay, now from the hostel, let's see. So I was probably there, moved in September 2015, went back to visit my parents December of 2015, for Christmas. And at that point, I really wasn't super sure if I was going to return to Costa Rica, which is crazy. Like, imagine what my life would have been if I didn't come back. When I left, I did not have anything technically rented. I think I left with most of the things that I came with. So I really was not super sure if I was going to be returning back to Costa Rica at that point. However, I got a job at this nature adventure therapy company, and because of my social work background. And so while I was back, I got that offer. They'd confirmed that they wanted me to work there. So I was like, all right, I'm going back to Costa Rica. I was kind of at a crossroads at life at that point because I had a pretty rough few months in the country. And so I came to live in I rented a room in a house in an area called Fuente Verde. It's up in Tinamaste. Beautiful, up the mountain from Dominical. I had been up there a lot because there was a farmer's market. So you go up there once a week and get to know the community and the people. So I pretty much rented this room in their house. And I want to say that was probably $100 to $150 per month. But it was pretty cool. It was all open air. It had a pool. That's not me doing yoga. That's just other people that lived there. I wasn't there a lot. So actually I wanted something cheap just to kind of put my stuff. I had a cat. Beautiful. Oh, so nice. In the Diamante Valley. I just wanted somewhere to kind of put my stuff so that when I was not working. So when I would be at this adventure therapy company, I would be there for 2 to 3 weeks at a time, nonstop. So it was really just kind of a place for me to put my things and I'd come back to. Or sometimes if I wanted to come spend the night, because this was actually walking distance to where I was working. So that was cool. This is like the kind of meditation room. So this is where I was here. So actually what's really fun about doing this video is you guys do get to see a little bit of my journey and like stuff that I was doing and going through at the times. So here's some pictures of when I was actually working at that adventure therapy company because we did really cool stuff. We went to really remote areas. As you see, there was no road, so we had to take this trolley across the river, which was pretty crazy. We hiked forever. It literally felt like it was never going to end. For that reason, I dislike hiking if there's not a real destination. I got to rappel waterfalls, which was really awesome. More hiking, more rivers, scaling a tree. So I did get to do a lot of really cool stuff while I was there. And I decided to rent somewhere else that was super close by as well. and it was in the area of Las Tumbas. So I was still in the Tinamaste area, not too far from Fuente Verde. And I rented this cute little like casita, this little cabin that was on this Costa Rican family's property in the area of Las Tumbas. And I rented it for $100 a month. And I was really proud of this place, and loved it. I got my little hammock and my little coffee. It's very rustic. So yeah, even looking back at these is really fun. $100 a month is what I paid. So it had like a loft. You'll see kind of a bigger view of the home. Couch. I mean, my camera was obviously not the best quality back then. Another cat. Cats are all kind of everywhere. So it was kind of the loft. It was all open air. Yes, bats would fly in. Yes, I found a scorpion. I was really in the jungle. I mean, this is completely open air. I had to go to the bathroom, I had to walk out and go through the garden to the bathroom. There was no bathroom in the house, but there was a shower, and the shower was freezing cold. So that was also really a challenge. But again, I was just starting my life here in Costa Rica. I was really, proud to be here. I didn't have a refrigerator, so I would get powdered milk. This was my stove over here. Maybe that's probably honey or something. I guess I made myself some, this is my spigots this is my kitchen, if you can't tell already. And yeah, I did not have a refrigerator. I did have a shower, but it was freezing cold water, and my bathroom was outside. So what I would do is walk down the stairs of the bedroom, go down, and then the bathroom is right over here. Little scary at night, that's for sure. Definitely very scary to go to the bathroom like that in the middle of the night. And then yeah, I had all this jungle right here, which was pretty cool. So this is actually the place before I moved into it and put all my stuff in there. So like, yeah, this is the bathroom. This is the kitchen. I don't remember what this was. Oh no, this was a closet. This was the bathroom. No, sorry, this was the shower, and this was like a little closet. So again, this was more of just a place for me to have a lot of my things, and while I was working at that adventure therapy company. So yeah, this was $100 a month. Definitely very remote area. I did not have a car. I will tell you when I got a car through this entire, lifetime that I've been here. But I did not have a car when I was living out there and walking many, many hills, hitchhiking up that dirt road. It was a challenge sometimes. So I'd either get to the top of the road and take a bus and go down to Dominical, or maybe up towards, which you will see, up towards Manuel Antonio. So Manuel Antonio. So as I was still working for the adventure therapy company at this point, and I kind of wanted to have my second home somewhere else closer to the beach. So I went to Manuel Antonio for a weekend, absolutely loved it, said okay, and I found something there. So I rented this place for $200 a month. It was just a large studio. So you walked in, and I had my little couch and my candles. I was trying to make it all cute. See the same hammock that I had, put my books. And yeah, had my bed, kitchen, computer as always. And I had a refrigerator this time, so that was an upgrade. Stove. And yeah, so I had this little place in Manuel Antonio that I rented for $200 a month. And I was still working at the adventure therapy company, but I think I was on my way out by this point. So I think by around this point, I was no longer going to be working there. I was switching to working full-time online at this point. This leads me to my Manuel apartment number 2. This apartment was directly above the one that I just showed you before. I want to say this was $250 a month or $300. And it was a 1-bedroom, like right in the heart of Manuel Antonio. Like I could go out right there onto the road, catch a bus, catch a taxi, get down to the beach, and really get along pretty well there. Didn't have a car, but much easier area to get along. Obviously loved the beach there. Very touristy area. Had my little hammock set up. So yeah, at that point I was paying $250, $300, I would say, for this place. Yeah, it was a long time ago. We're still in 2016 at this point. Probably around July or August. Yeah, I would say July of 2016. So yeah, I had my little bedroom. Finally had my own little separate bedroom, little kitchen area. I don't really know what this was supposed to be honest. It was like these concrete slabs, but nothing was really comfortable there. So I don't know if it was supposed to be like for couch or what. My random blender in the corner of the room, probably because that's where the outlet was. Again, this is my closet. I kind of hung something up to cover my clothes. I did not have AC in any of these, by the way. No AC yet. Have not reached the level of having AC in the country at this time. There's me cooking. I might have actually been pregnant at this point. So in this apartment, this is when I got pregnant. this is this apartment. Little refrigerator, teeny tiny little thing. And again, just showing you guys houses in case you like looking at houses and in case you're interested in every single house that I've ever lived in. Okay, so then at this point in my life, I was pregnant. I stayed in this apartment for a while, and then I ended up moving to Quepos, which is right next to Manuel Antonio. So at this point, my online work was going well, and I decided to move to Quepos just to get in kind of a nicer space. You know, I was pregnant. I wanted to be in a nice space that felt good. So I rented this little apartment in Quepos. It was a little bit outside near something called the tennis club. It was kind of near a gym. It wasn't right in Quepos. It was kind of a little bit outside, but still really easy to get around without a car. I rented this place for $500 a month. This was $500. It was actually a studio, but it had kind of a divider. See, like this divided the living room from the bedroom. So it was like a large studio setup. It had really big windows, which I liked. It just felt like more fresh. Better oven, you know, nicer cooking area for me at the time. This must have been the day that I came to look at it. And it was nice because I was working from home at that point. There we go, working from home. It was nice to kind of have a space that I enjoyed working. I could go out and look at the nature. There were so many walking trails that I could, because one of the zip line places backed up to near these properties, so I could walk the whole trails of where they take people on the zip line and go see animals. I think one time I saw a wild pig, the poison dart frogs. So on my time off, I'd either go to the beach or go for a walk. And I liked living here. It was nice. This is kind of my closet. Again, you don't see a lot of closed closets in this country, so I would always kind of close it with something like a tapestry. I guess I just didn't like the thought of like the closet being open. But like a nice bathroom. There was hot water. My other two in Manuel Antonio, I think, did have hot water, but it was probably with the suicide showers, the on-demand heaters that were a little sketchy. And I do remember zapping myself a few times. So there's a few just like pictures of the grounds around here that was just really peaceful, and I liked it. This was nice. So this was $500 a month living in Quepos, which is right next to Manuel Antonio. And from there, I went to Heredia. So now at this point, I was pretty pregnant and time to go wait up by San Jose to basically have the baby. So here we are. This is my little place that I had in Heredia. It's outside of San Jose. It was about, 30 minutes from the hospital that I wanted to give birth at. There's my little desk for working. I want to say, what did I pay? I probably paid $350 a month or so for this place. I want to say that's what I paid. So I had like a little bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, on-demand hot water heater here, but like a nicer one that doesn't zap you. Had an actual closet wardrobe for clothes. There was my cat. Baby crib was getting all set up and ready to go. I had my little workstation over here. And yeah, so pretty much was like living room, kitchen, bathroom, one bedroom. Landlords were super nice. A nice lady who lived below me, so I had to walk upstairs to get there. So this is where I stayed until 2 weeks after I gave birth. So I gave birth, was in the hospital for a day, had a C-section, had to get back up those stairs. My parents came, I want to say a week later, and then they stayed for a week. And I think the day after they left, I moved back down to the coast. So here we are down at the coast. I made it down to Dominical. Found an amazing family there. They were so sweet. And they had a little ceviche stand at the top of the road. Some of you may know which one that is. Now they got a little restaurant down there, right, still tucked in there. Dominical. I would go over to this restaurant, a hotel that's no longer open. It was called Por Qué No. Have a smoothie. Strapped a little baby on me. Was working still, so I only took a month off work after I gave birth. And this was a really tiny space, but it was honestly perfect for me at the time. It was me and my little one, trying to obviously get some rest. And yeah, it was a really small space, but it was perfect for me because it was really easy to clean. I would literally walk 2 steps and be in the bathroom. Walk 2 steps, I'd be in the kitchen. Walk 2 steps. Here we go. So I had our little bed here. Had my little bed here. Bathroom was over there. Kitchen was like right behind me and to the side. So but I had an amazing ocean view. There's my little one. I had a great ocean view. I would sit outside. So the table for eating or working was outside. And right out this window, it was a great ocean view. No AC or anything, but great. Loved this place. And what was funny was that we found out that the owners of these different little cabinas, so there's a few different ones here, were actually like some distant aunt of my daughter, which I thought was pretty funny. So here's my kitchen. I'm sure I put like a little stove here. I had a little sink, my refrigerator. I usually put my food in a box so that, bugs wouldn't get to it, and I put other stuff in the refrigerator. So it was pretty minimal, but it was really just what I needed. And for this place, I paid, it was either $200 or $250 a month. I want to say $250, but I want to say, okay, it was between $200 and $250 a month. And that included electricity, included water, included everything. Same with the other places. Now that I think about it, all the other places that I listed included utilities, included the utilities. So from Dominicalito, I did get the opportunity to do house sitting, and I moved up to this house in Platanillo. And so I was house sitting. They were gone. Eventually got turned into an Airbnb. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. I rented their car from them, so I paid per month to use their car and pretty much just took care of their house, which was absolutely gorgeous. 1-bedroom place up in Platanillo, absolutely beautiful. And it was really peaceful. And I think it was definitely what I needed. I was going through a rough time in life. And it was just nice to be able to be surrounded by beautiful surroundings. Now, going up and down that road with a baby in the car was a little bit scary. So I would definitely limit my driving mostly to daytime. But it was a fresher climate. I could have all the doors open. And it was really relaxing. It was definitely what I needed at the time. But from there, I don't even know what year we're at this point. From there, this haul must have been, so this is all in 2017. And from there, I decided I really needed more of a sense of community. So I moved back down to Dominical. So then I moved down to Dominical because I really did need more of a sense of community. As you can see in this picture, this is after I busted my eye open. So if you ever see a scar here, that's what happened. That's another funny story. Won't get into that today. But so yeah, so I'm there. My daughter's a little bit bigger. We went for walks a lot. She's smaller. So I lived in this really cute cabina that I do recommend to my clients. And I have other clients who lived in this exact same unit or who have rented from this lady in one of her other units. They're so cute. They're in Dominical, right down the river road. She has four of these cabinas. She takes really good care of them. They all have AC, TV, internet, shared pool, included everything, utilities. She'd do your laundry for a week. Or she'd do your laundry once a week, and it was $500 a month. I think now she charges $600, but that was great. That was a great deal for me. And what was so important about being there was that I had a really good sense of community down there. I had so many amazing friends that I met, and I had a lot of girlfriends who lived in the other cabinas. So for me, it was just fantastic. I had so much support, so much around me, and it was really, really nice. So I had my cute little kitchen. It was a gas stove and oven, little teapot, rice cooker, water jug, pots and pans and stuff. There's a table where I don't know if I really worked at this table. I don't usually end up working outside because I was working while my kid was taking naps. So I'd usually go outside to work. Had high vaulted ceilings, and it was just a large studio. So I had bed, and it had a nice bathroom too. I guess there's no bathroom photo in here, but the bathroom was nice. She kept it really, really nice. So I do like recommending this place to others for sure because I love the owner, and I've had other people rent there before. So while I was living there, so after my daughter was a year old, I really needed some more space. She was probably going to start walking soon. I needed more space. And just on the other side of the pool that was shared by these 4 cabinas, my landlord's brother was constructing a new house, and it was a 1-bedroom house. So I ended up moving over there. So this was the house because I was like, oh, this house is being constructed. Oh, look, it's got its own bedroom. Like at that point, with work, with having a child, it was going to be much better if I could have some of my own space to, function and take care of my kid. And so, yeah, I was eyeballing this house. They said I could move in. So this was cool. I set up a cute little play area. This was, you walk in, you'll see the outside of the house, living room, sofa, kitchen area. My daughter in her little high chair. Back window, I love that. I would actually just throw food out the back, because it was just easier to compost. But there was just some banana trees back there, which was really cool. A nice cool breeze in the morning that would come down from the mountain and in the home. This house did not have AC, so it did get pretty hot. This is the front. This is when I got my first car, my first official car. So I kind of made it my own. I planted some flowers. I was honestly so proud of this rocking chair right here because, I was always working hard and didn't have a lot of money at the time. And so for me to have that rocking chair was actually something really special, and I was really happy about it. I want to say I paid $400 a month for this place. Pretty sure I paid $400 a month. So that's what I paid for this home. Now, what happened after this was I was working more, and I really needed some kind of more like a full-time, or not maybe full-time, or just more of a more daycare situation. So the only daycare was in Uvita. So I thought, all right, well, maybe I'll move down to Uvita, be closer to the daycare, because I was already driving back and forth, and that was taking a lot of time out of my day. So I had the idea to move down to Uvita. Okay, so now we're in Uvita. And you know what's funny is you guys will see some of these houses in my past videos. So like one of my first videos, I was making coconut milk, and I lived in the studio, cabina in Dominical then. And then you'll see a lot of my older videos are down here at this house in Uvita. I might have been sitting in this hammock, or, I eventually put a little table out here so I could work outside. And look, I have my prized rocking chair as well. So this was a cool place. 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, and an office. There's my daughter down in Uvita. We went for walks a lot here. The house was furnished. Like, this is the bed that was in the master, but I moved it to the guest room. I had my couch. Oh, so I forgot to tell you, in the last home that I was living in before I moved to Uvita, you notice there's only 1 bedroom. So I slept on the pull-out couch. Like that, this pull-out couch was my bed. Like that was my full-time bed. So every night I'd pull out the couch, make the bed, go to sleep, and in the morning, unmake the bed, fold up the couch, and just have it as a normal couch during the day. So yeah, so this was kind of more of like, this house definitely had a lot more space. It had a laundry room, a little bathroom back there. Like I said, 2 bedrooms, an office, which I ended up just turning the office into my daughter's bedroom because it just worked out better that way. There was a bathtub that was fancy, hot water, nice full kitchen here. I don't think the dishwasher worked. I just used it as Tupperware storage. I had a washer dryer. I was excited about that. I got had all my little things here. So I'd often, work here at this table or work outside. And this is the beach. The beach was so beautiful down here. This is one of my horses that I had at the time. And yeah, this was definitely a good time in life. So you will see this house a lot in my older videos too. And I spent some good years here for sure. So that was my time in Uvita. So where did I go okay. Now we're coming up to COVID because I was in this house until April of 2020. So COVID happened while I was here at this house, and I had a friend who was going to buy some land up the mountain, and then there was a cabin there, and we didn't really know what the heck was going on with the world. So I was like, you know what? I had actually lost some work because of COVID. So I was like, I need to minimize my how much did I pay for this house? Sorry, guys, just bear with me. I want to say I paid $700 or $750 for this house, but then the owner knocked off $100 of rent for me per month because I started property managing his home next door. So I guess I was paying $600, $650 for this house. Where nowadays, this house would probably be $1,200, $1,400, $1,500, maybe $1,500 for sure, at least. So like this house, just, you see before and after COVID prices, things changed a lot. So then COVID was coming. Okay, I almost forgot a house. There might be more than 20 houses now. I almost forgot a house. I might have forgotten 2. Okay, so COVID happened. And I don't know. I was like, is the world ending? Are we all going to die? Like, what's going on? So I was like, let's get out of here. So we moved up the mountain to a very, very rustic cabin. Well, they were actually finishing the cabin, but look at that view. Such a beautiful view. That's the whale's tail down there. So I literally was like on the top of the mountain of Uvita, I felt like I was on top of the world. It was absolutely gorgeous. The clouds would roll in. Sometimes you couldn't see anything in front of you. But it was a very rustic place. It needed a lot of fixing up. It did not have a toilet at first, but eventually one did get installed. The water was freezing cold. Was able to make a basic kitchen, ended up buying a refrigerator, figured out the bed situation, and made do for a bit. Climate was way fresher. For payment, I think I gave the guy a few $100 to just try to finish some things up, and then I told him they could finish stuff up while I'm living there. And so actually this is a neighborhood family that came over, and so I got really close to other Costa Ricans. I would say in all my houses, that's how I learned Spanish really fast, was also just interacting a lot with locals and living in places. There was no one up there that spoke English. Well, I found one lady. It was my dog Mila, the ocean view. I don't know why that picture came out bad. Same with this one. Oh, well, I downloaded them all, but they all came out kind of bad. I have moved all my up here. That's a whole nother story. There's me making coconut milk and shredding the coconut with the board. So I had pants on. It was not that hot. You know, my car broke down at one point, so literally rode the horse around as transportation because I had multiple of them. And just the views were absolutely beautiful. I don't know why these pictures didn't download to full size, but really just gorgeous, gorgeous place. Very rustic. And then I kind of saw down the street, like, this house looks really pretty. Who owns this house? And I found the owners, and I found one gringa lady up on this mountain who owned a house that I was checking out. And it was this house, and it does not look the same anymore. She's remodeled, she's added on to it, she's sold it. But you will also see videos on my channels through all these houses. So at this point, I've already had the YouTube channel. This is at the Starlight House up in Socorro, which is, again, the top of Uvita. Hardly anyone up there, a few Costa Rican families, but I did find this one gringa lady who had this house. We became very good friends. She had another very large house that she lived in on the property, just you couldn't see it. And it was huge, huge property. And so I ended up renting this from her. I want to say I paid $700 a month for this house at the time. And it was amazing. Oh my God, it was so luxurious. First it started because my internet was so bad where I was. And I became friends with her, and she said, you know what, why don't you go work at my extra house? Like, take your computer, work there if you need to. And oh my gosh, it was just so relaxing and peaceful and amazing. I just asked her, I was like, can I rent this? And she's like, yes, of course. So I ended up renting there, and wow, it was so amazing. It had hot water, really nice, stove. Everything was nice and modern. And again, I think I paid like $700 a month for it. Nice room with a big king bed and all these beautiful windows and a garage to store things. It was just really, really, really beautiful. It was amazing. And during this time in my life, my business was really starting to take off. I mean, gosh, it was getting busy. People, COVID had happened. People really wanted to move. And this is really when my business kind of lifted off the ground and went into total high drive. And at that time, I'd gotten an offer from someone in Jaco. Originally reached out to me for horseback riding lessons for his son, because I used to have my horse tour company down in Uvita. And I said, well, I don't do that anymore, and then he started looking at some of my other stuff that I do on my website, my YouTube channel. And he asked if I'd come up and collaborate in Jaco on a website with him. And so I said, all right, well, I'll go visit and see, check it out, see what's going on, and meet you and meet your office staff. And so I did. And that's how I ended up in the Central Pacific near Jaco. So as you can imagine, I was really used to living out in the middle of nowhere at that point, up in those houses in the cabin. This is, during COVID, whenever, I don't know, we all thought the world was going to end. I was really used to being just near no one, not hearing anything, not seeing any houses. So I moved to Playa Hermosa near Jaco in this community called Valle Perdido. And I rented a house there, and it was a 3-bedroom home. Couldn't see my neighbors, but it was in a gated community. People were nearby. It was a 3-bedroom house, and I rented it for $800. So again, this was like kind of COVID prices, So $800. As you can see, my suitcases are still in here. I'm not even fully moved in. Got my cat carrier. Brought all the animals up, including the horses. And yeah, started living in this house. It was $800. Liked it a lot. But then I was driving my daughter to Jaco for the daycare every day. So at some point I said, okay, well, maybe, I feel like I want to move over to Jaco so I can be closer, make the commute less. It'll just be easier, for working full time. Business was so busy at that point. It just had exploded. So I just needed to make my life as easy as possible. So off I went to go live, 15 minutes away in Jaco. All right. So again, these are just focusing on the houses and everything. But gosh, I feel like so much has happened over these years. It's really insane. Like, what's this extra car doing here? Well, my friend was living with me when I was at my house in Uvita. She was the one that was going to buy the land up by that cabin. And then she left because of COVID and never could get back in. So I ended up with her car and her dog. But I already had my own car. So gosh, and so much has happened over these years. To put it all into one video, it's just impossible. This is one of my favorite houses. It was in Jaco, not right down in the main strip, because usually there's some nice quiet side neighborhoods. So loved this home. Family was going back to Canada for some time. Then they were going to eventually come back and sell the home. So cute. 3-bedroom house. Had, washer, backyard area, little bar in the back. It was so adorable. Beautiful master bedroom. It was just so homey. It really had everything. The owner obviously really loved to cook. Her kitchen was fully stocked. It was such a cool place. I loved this home. I rented it for $1,200 a month. Again, and now in today's market, this is during COVID. In today's market, this would be way higher, 1,800, 2,500, 2,700. On to another house in Jaco that I lived in. So I started surfing a lot and was enjoying surfing and stuff. So I kind of wanted to give myself the experience to live as close to the beach as I could without actually being on the beach, because I definitely could not afford to be right on the beach. So I rented this house that was 3 doors down from the beach in the south end of Jaco. Quiet, great area. Had a little pool. Beach was literally right there, and kind of made the outdoor area cute. Had a little kitchen, master bedroom. Both the master and the other room basically looked the exact same. They're pretty much the same layout. It was originally used as an Airbnb. This is what the patio looked like before, but I moved all the stuff and put my own things. Had a little garage area I could pull the car in. And yeah, it was just a cute little place. I guess I don't have a picture of the living room. But yeah, basically had a living room and a couch here that led to the back kitchen area. And this house I paid $1,800 a month for. We were still during COVID, but I wanted to splurge just for a few months to live as close to the beach as I could to kind of enjoy that experience. And that's what I did. And then from there, I decided, okay, time to minimize expenses again. I had fun. I splurged. I'm going to move back to Hermosa. So I decided I would just move back to Hermosa, because at this point I was starting to think about potentially purchasing land and buying, or maybe purchasing a home. So I wanted to minimize my expenses again so I could actually plan for that. We're almost here. We got 2 houses left till we're at my house. Okay, so I was looking in Hermosa. There was one house that I really wanted that was cute, nice, furnished, had a pool, everything. And it was like $1,100 a month. But there was nothing very available in Hermosa. So I ended up with an unfurnished small 2-bedroom, very small. But they were building a house next to it by the same owners that was going to be bigger, that I wanted to move into after. So I knew that this was going to be temporary. That was actually the master bedroom, little back area where you could hook up the washing machine, other bedroom. So it was pretty basic. Then you'll kind of see what I did when I furnished it. It really came with nothing, nothing. I mean, it had ceiling fans, had AC. All these houses too now that I've lived in by the beach had AC. So AC was all good. But really, didn't even come with curtains. I mean, they were pretty new apartments. And this is what it looked like from, the one side. This is after I furnished it. I put a couch, a rug, got the bathroom all sorted out. The bathroom is actually pretty big. Got the bathroom looking cute. Got a custom bed made, nice king-size bed. But didn't have a whole lot of stuff for my actual things. I had this bed custom made because I put drawers on there so that I could store all my clothes in the drawers, because the room was kind of small. So yeah, that's I guess I don't have any pictures of when I actually outfitted the kitchen. So this I paid $600 a month for. Sometime in 2021 I moved here. So then the next house was done being built. Okay, so the house next door was getting finished. So I was kind of going over and checking to see what they were doing all the time, and I ended up moving it over there. So this house again came with really nothing, but I'd already furnished the other one, so I just kind of passed everything over to here. Kind of set up my living. I eventually got a different couch, little by little, setting things up. Kitchen, everything was kind of open. It didn't really have any storage, so I bought this for the home. Brought in the stove. Kind of definitely had to outfit this home quite a bit. And, I guess the main issue with these kinds of homes, these last 2 rentals, is just no storage. So I bought these drawers that ended up falling apart. I ended up building this bed myself, actually. I sold the other one with drawers because it was too humid here. So I started getting mold under it. So I ended up selling that bed and building another one. So it was a fun project, just build a bed one day. This was the outside. And this house I rented for $900. So now you're starting to see prices go up for things that, when you compared what I got for $700 or $750 in Uvita before COVID and during COVID to here, this is post-COVID prices, you're going to see the prices have jumped up. $600 for that years, before COVID or during COVID, those apartments that were renting for the $600 unfurnished, they would not be renting for that price. Now, even this house, honestly, $900 is kind of pushing it for being unfurnished. It's furnished now. And I think the owner has it on Airbnb, or they're renting it out, or they're doing something. So then from this house, I transferred into my own home. So this is when I started thinking about buying lots. This lot was actually very close to, where I was staying when I was renting. You know, there was the concept of, okay, what would the design be of the home? How would it look? How's the inside going to look? We started construction, which those will be whole other videos that will talk about the whole process and how long everything took. Decided to build 2 homes. So here's, one home here, one home here. And yeah, so let's see how it turned out. I know a lot of you guys have seen the home for sale, how it turned out, but how did my house turn out? So that's what I'm going to show you. This is my final space. I am done moving. I am no longer moving ever again, I hope. I don't want to move. I don't want to move ever again. As you can see, I've moved so much over the years. I wish that I could include, I don't know, just everything about my life that happened within then, but that would just be such a long video. I guess you kind of see my life day to day throughout this entire channel. So, and I've had so many people ask me, why did you move so much? Why do you move so much? And yeah, so every move definitely did have its own purpose. It wasn't ever like, oh, I hate this place, I want to get out of here. But it all definitely did have its own purpose as to why I moved. All right, well, if you made it this far, this was a really long video. I appreciate you sticking with me. If you like looking at homes as much as I do, then hopefully this kind of shows you of every house that I've ever lived in here in Costa Rica. It'll be 9 years this September. And yeah, I've lived in a lot of places and a lot of different towns, and I've been really, blessed throughout the years. And hopefully to fill in some blanks, this is how you can kind of see like how our lives kind of progressed living here. And again, like I wish I had all the details of everything that's happened over the years, but it's been a lot. I'll tell you, it's been a wild ride. It's been absolutely crazy. I love what it's turned into. I love that I get to help people move here and have their own experiences and share mine, and hopefully, help people so they don't make some of the same mistakes that I did. So thanks again for watching this video. I appreciate you following along, and I will catch you in the next one. And I'll keep them shorter from now on.